Folks, I have amazing news. It is my pleasure to announce an entirely new medium that has been added to the catalog. This medium is video games. They were some of the most popular pieces of media in pop culture during their time. In this medium, you have complete control and agency over your player. The average game takes roughly 60 to 100 hours to beat. There are hundreds of thousands of different titles. I can't check
We interrupt this scheduled broadcast for a breaking news update from the Sticky Buttons podcast.
What is up, everyone? This is Brandon,
and this is Blake.
And we're coming at you with a new episode.
The Sticky Buttons pod, baby.
Sticky Buttons podcast, where the buttons stay sticky and the games are being played.
That they are. That I don't know what it was, but that just felt gross to me.
Oh man.
But what is up, guys? I hope everybody is doing well this fine evening. Or I guess I don't know when you guys are listening to this, but it is evening for us out here in New York City.
Eastern time.
Is that what it's called? Is that what time zone we're in?
Yeah, we're in the Eastern time zone.
What's the time zone next to us?
I believe it's the Central time zone.
And then there's like Western, like Mountain time, right? Or
I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's a Mountain time, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a Pacific time as well.
Time zones. I mean, I feel like we have a lot of them in the United States. I feel like there's even more, because then there's like the one that Canada's on, and then Hawaii.
Okay, so the United States is divided into six
time zones.
Hawaii Aleutian time, Alaska time, Pacific time, Mountain time, Central time, and Eastern time.
Eastern time, baby. That's where we're at. The ET, daylight savings time.
We're past that, aren't we?
No, dude. I still think we still live in that.
Still in that daylight savings.
Yeah. Because I had just had to switch my clock. Anyways, on this very weird topic that we're on, in Pokemon Crystal, you have to go to your mom to switch the time if you're in daylight savings time. I found that out recently.
That's a fun fact. That's really interesting that they couldn't like integrate that into the game, so you have to like go to your mom for that.
I think that's one of the older ones. I'm sure that if you got they did like a remake, and I'm sure if you got the 3DS remake, I'm sure that you don't have to talk to your mom to switch to daylight savings time. Yeah, look at that.
And that was all the way back then. Crystal came out when? Do you know?
Ooh, let's find out. I'm actually currently playing Crystal.
Where along are you?
I haven't picked my Pokemon yet.
Okay. So very, very beginning.
The very beginning, yeah. So this was released, or the original Crystal was released December 14th of the year 2000 for the Game Boy Color.
The year I was born.
You were born in 2000?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, shit, your birthday's coming up too. It's in 15 days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The 25th, right?
Big 21. I turned legal, guys.
Gonna get some libations. What are you gonna do, man? You got any plans?
I'm definitely just gonna go out with my girlfriend, kick it for a day. I'm so busy these days, it's hard to even take time for my birthday. I wanted to throw a little party, but I'm worried about the pandemic and just that sort of thing. So might have to save it for next year. Hopefully we're out of this jam.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. I mean, I'll tell you what, Brain, I'll crack you a deal. After you turn 21, I'll have you over and I'll make you a drink. I'll make you a little cocktail.
A cocktail? I'll take you up on that, Blake.
Cocktail. I have a particular vibe of cocktails that I really like. So basically, if you're at a bar and you see a cocktail that has either lavender in it or egg whites or a vegan alternative to egg whites, that is a drink for your boy. I don't know what it is, but I love the lavender and I love the egg whites. And if you're like egg whites, what are those? Those go in cocktails, and they do. So if you have one and they like do the shaker and they shake it up. Yeah, so they shake it up, and that like creates like a foam on top.
Yeah.
Egg white, and it kind of looks like the foam that you get on like a cold brew coffee, or not.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So it's really cool. I really like those.
Sounds
Sometimes I
really
like
good.
the sage. That's cool, man. I'm excited, dude. There's some really cool bars out here in New York City. I'll definitely take you to a speakeasy.
Speakeasy, is that like where when there was the prohibition time, so they had to like keep bars low key and put them
Yeah.
in like really really trendy spaces?
Yeah, they have some really so in the present day, a speakeasy is basically it's like a low key bar or like a hidden bar, and like for some like an example of one of these would be one where it's just like a red sign above a door and it just says like something, and then you have to like be in the know that that's like a bar. And
Yeah.
there's a couple of them out there that I've checked out in New York City. My favorite is actually really close to the Patagonia store that we both used to work at, but unfortunately, that bar is no more, and it is closed down.
Oh man.
But that one was cool because it was like literally a bar, and you would go into it, and you would say, basically, you like walked up to the hostess inside this bar, and you were like, "Hey, do you have any seats at the Manhattan Cricket Club?" And they'd say, "Yeah, let me go check." And then they would like, I don't know how they would. I think they checked on like an iPad or something. And then if they had seats, they'd be like, "Yeah, right this way." And they'd take you to the back of the bar and push a door open. That was like a hidden door, and you go
Yeah.
through it, walk up the stairs, and they'd seat you.
That's badass, man. I like that. I was seeing on Linda's story. Shout out to Linda, who we used to work with. She
That's Linda.
she was there was a Coca-Cola vending machine. You had to like go down the stairs and it was just this vending machine. And you just had to like knock on the door a certain way and just open the door. And
That's
behind
cool.
the vending machine was a speakeasy. This is really
That's
cool.
lit, dude. I love like stumbling across those. Like one, they just like make the experience of like going out and going to a bar like so much like cooler and like more adventurous. But it's also like, and they all have like different vibes because it's more of like the vibe where you like go into the bar, actually sit down, have like a drink, and like, you don't really go to a speakeasy by yourself.
Oh yeah.
You go with friends, and you go there to have like actual conversations, and normally the drinks are a little bit more elevated and a little bit more expensive. But I've found in New York City that the you're pretty much going to spend the same amount on a cocktail anywhere, but it's just like the quality of the cocktail. And like it's like one of those things where like you can only go up at those places. But like if you go to like a kind of a like college bar, you can easily spend $15 on a drink and be disappointed with it.
Yeah. I've been there.
But yeah, man, I'm really excited. Me and my real quick on the speakeasy before we get into this episode here. Me and my girlfriend, we went to the speakeasy in Atlanta, and this was my first experience with the speakeasy, and it was like so cool. It's called the Red Phone Booth. So if you're ever in Atlanta, you should definitely check out the Red Phone Booth. But basically, and you have to like, this is like another thing, you have to like be in the know about this too. So you have to go to this phone booth, you have to dial in a number at the phone booth, and that rings the bartender. And if they have seating, the phone booth opens up, and like they like pull the door in and let you in, and then they like ID you once you get inside.
That's sick. So what's the exit? Is there like an emergency exit through the
Yeah,
back?
there's like another door that you can
Okay.
go out of. But
Good.
yeah, it's really cool. They also sell cigars there if you're in the mood for those. When I went, I really wanted to get a cigar, but it's also like normally when you go to speakeasies, like you have to dress up a little bit. Like in this particular speakeasy, I was wearing like a suit jacket, but normally if I go to like one in New York City, I'll just wear like a button up, like a collared shirt.
Good old Patagonia vest.
Probably not that, but there's actually when I turned 21, I was out like appalled to like learn this. I was really kind of blown away. But you can't wear sweatpants in the bars. They won't let you in.
They're like, nah, what are you doing? Yeah, I could imagine.
luckily at the couple times that I didn't know that I was like, it was wintertime, so I could wrap a coat around my waist, and I knew the bouncers at some of the places, or had a fraternity brother that worked at the bar, so we were able to skirt that once or twice, but
Man,
gotta wear pants.
just really love your sweatpants. What can you say?
Yeah. Did you know that I was a bouncer for a bar?
I did not know that.
Wow. Yeah, that was before I moved out to New York City. I was
It's
a
an
bouncer.
interesting gig.
I hated it, dude. It was actually, I would not recommend that to anybody. That was awful.
Imagine just people intoxicated in a
You
place
know,
like
honestly,
that.
man, that part of it really wasn't that bad. But yeah, I didn't really like being a bouncer. You like had to enforce the dress code. That was like the worst part of it.
Yeah.
And it was a sports bar. Like, it was literally a sports bar, and you couldn't wear jerseys in there past 9 p.m. So I'd have to kick people out or not let people into like a sports bar if they were wearing a jersey, which is like just blows my mind because it's like a sports bar.
Yeah, I can see people getting crazy. Like, what? I can't wear my jersey to this sports bar?
Yeah, like the game's on tonight. Like, what are you talking about? I'm excited for you to turn 21, man. It's an exciting time. I mean, obviously, like, it kind of sucks that it's happening now, but I think that, once everything opens back up, you'll just be able to have that much more of a fulfilling experience. Because this is like another thing about turning 21. You get to try a bunch of stuff that you normally like wouldn't have even known about. And there's like definitely like a learning curve where it's like, oh, I just bought a drink that is like disgusting, but it's like $10. So like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're definitely going to get to like know what you like before you like waste your money on it, which is really nice.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to learning a lot, man. It's a blessing and a curse that it's happening during this pandemic. I will say that.
All right. Well, today we are talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
And this is one hell of a game, and I can't wait to get into it with you, Blake. This is something we've been playing, both of us, for a while now.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
And, I started off actually with the game that you're going to be talking about. Started off with Pokemon Sword, and I played through that whole game. I beat the league. I got my badges, even played some Battle Tower matches. I was really getting into that. But then I kind of lost the fun of it, and I was like, you know what? Let me restart Sword. And then I restarted Sword, and I beat it again. And then I was like, I want to play Shield. So I got Shield. And that's where I am today. I'm playing Shield, and I still have not gotten all the badges in Shield. Very, very similar game, just some different variants along the games. As I'm sure you know, the different Gigantamax Pokemon that you can find.
Yeah, so some of the differences between them are they each have like their own specific Pokemon that you can only get in Sword versus Shield. There's also one gym leader that's different in each game. So like for Sword, for example, I had to fight B. So BEA, her name's B, and she's the fighting type. I don't really know what the one is for Sword. I think it would be after the fire type. Do you remember?
After the fire type, a fighting type, that I don't really remember who that fighting type was. But I will say, having played through Sword twice and then getting on Shield, I knew exactly what to do in order to defeat these gym challenges, which aren't the easiest things, and sometimes they can be a bit discouraging coming from, the traditional gym situation. So I definitely spent a lot of time just in Pokemon camps, chilling with my team, taking care of them. Spend a lot of time in like the cracks and crevices throughout the region, just really exploring places that I didn't prior. And that's something that I really appreciate about this whole like new generation. I feel is really well done, is the dynamic of you don't have to play through the story. You don't have to like just follow that in order to have a good time. You can There's so many different things you can do. You can do the beauty competitions.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole aspect of the game that I didn't even really play.
And those are really sick. You can try and like, rank up there, and get some fame through that. Get some really cool uniforms and some attachments, like items for your Pokemon.
Can you get like, do you know if you can get specific like outfits from doing the beauty competitions?
I'm not too sure if you can get specific outfits, but I do know you can get very specific items that like help your Pokemon stats. And those are really helpful. You can like get I forget what the item is called, but it's like basically you give it to your Pokemon and it brings up their base stat so that when you level them up again, they increase by more than they originally would. And it's like another way of EV training, if you will.
Definitely.
Really, really interesting stuff. And I love that they're really trying to highlight that part of the game. Something that I wasn't even sure. I'm not even sure if EV training is something that they even like originally thought of doing. I think it's just something that like really early fanatics just figured out like, hey, if you defeat 100 Pikachus, your speed stat will increase more than normal. And it's really interesting stuff. And we'll definitely have someone on the pod to talk about that soon.
Oops. Spoilers for what's to come.
Spoiler
bonus
alert there.
Episode coming up.
Sorry about that, but I'm really looking forward to that and getting into that with that individual. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, I was actually able to look that up while you were talking. So the Stowside gym is different in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So, for Sword, the Stowside gym is B, the fighting type, like I said, and the Stowside gym for Shield is Alistair. And do you know if it's a he or a she? They have a mask in the picture. Not that it matters, but
I'm not too sure. Not too sure.
They are I think they're a ghost type, and they look very spooky. Also, the Chesterton gym is different too, I believe. Yeah, yep, the Chesterton gym is different as well. So in Shield, the Chesterton gym is Melanie, and she's an ice type. And in Sword, the not Chesterton, it's Chester. Sorry.
Sir, maybe like Sir Chester.
That's probably it. Sir Chester. The Sir Chester gym for Sword is Gordy, who I don't really know if I liked Gordy all that much, to be honest. I mean, he's a rock type. He's got this like huge gem necklace. He kind of looks like a thug, but in like a cool way. I don't know. I thought he had like a weird attitude. So, anyways,
I bet you had fun fighting him.
Yeah, I had probably the most fun I had was fighting Pierce.
And that's
in Spike Mouth.
That's a fire type, Piers.
Oh no. That's Kubo. Piers is he's the dark type. He's the one that wants to sing.
Okay.
Or what's this? The Motostoke gym is Kuaba or Kabu. Kabu.
Fire type, yeah. He was a tough one, man. Like you had to fight all of those fire types in the grass before you could get him to fight you.
Yeah.
It really got to me.
Yeah, honestly that gym was probably the hardest, I think, personally. I had one heck of a time getting past his final, which was it's like that Scorch Beetle. It's like really long.
Scoliopede, I think.
Scoliopede, yes, yep. Yeah, that one was really tough for me to get past for whatever reason.
For some reason, my memory of Pokemon is just really
You're really good at it, man.
I don't know how.
I think what it is, I think obviously I'm paying more attention to the names now because I can read and I'm an adult, but when I was a kid, I would always like make the nicknames. So I think that probably has something to do with it, where it's like the attention to that. It was always more fun for me to like make the names, but as a kid and stuff. But.
Yeah, because taking it back to that, like as a kid, I always respected their names. I was always like, this is Scoliopede, or this is Mankey,
Mhm.
like I really like, who am I to change their name? That's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah, I think for me, I wanted to give them nicknames because I was like, oh, like you could catch another one, but like this one is my boy or my gal.
Yeah.
This is like like the one that I'm like in a friendship with.
No, I feel that, and I definitely did that for like starters. Sometimes
Mhm.
I would give them nicknames, because you
Yeah.
have that sense of like, this is my starter.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the starters for this gen real quick?
Yeah, I'd love to. I've played with all three of them, and I have to say, by far, my favorite has to be Incineroar.
Is it Score Bunny's final evolution?
Yeah, Incineroar is also in Super Smash Bros.,
Oh,
which
really?
is
That's
a
a
really, really cool. Cinderace is the fire type final evolution in this one. Incineroar would be a region behind this one, um, which is Litten is the first one, the first iteration
Is it
of,
like a kitten?
yeah, a little
That's
fire
cool.
kitten.
Litten. That's kind of cool.
Um, but yeah, Score
Is that Sun
Bunny,
and Moon?
Sun and Moon, yeah.
Hmm. Gotcha.
But yeah, Score Bunny, and then you get Cinderace, which is the final evolution. I really like that speed stat on Cinderace. It's one fast Pokemon. Um,
Definitely.
and I'm trying to remember, is it a fire fighting type? Um, I think so. I think Cinderace is a fire fighting type. Um, but what starter did you take?
Yeah, so for this playthrough, I went with Thwacky.
Wacky, and that's why you had a hard time with Kabu. I bet.
Yeah, I oh no, I know why I had a hard time with Kabu. I had I had based my whole team around. I think that we even talked about this earlier in the pod. I had based my whole team around my Slowpoke, and I was like he had one water move, so I was going into that with only one single water move, and or one yeah like one of my Pokemon had one move. I think it was Surf, or actually it was Waterfall. It was Waterfall with Slowpoke, and I went in there like, oh, like Slowpoke's like my main, like one of my main. He's like one of my favorites. Like I'm gonna have absolutely no issues here, and I had so many issues because that's when I realized that the particular nature of my Slowpoke, they have really like bad physical attack.
uh,
Or no, actually, let me take that.
Special
They
attack.
have really good physical attack. They have bad special attack.
I see. And Waterfall is the special attack move.
Yeah, so I was really struggling. I really struggling with that because my super effective move wasn't really doing anything. So, I mean, I think that I've actually heard from other people that that has also been their hardest gym as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he's
think
a
that's
tough
like the
one.
one getting over the hump. Do
He's
you
a
want to
tough one.
do you want to talk about our teams that we used to finish it out with? Our final teams that we took on the league with?
Yeah, man. If you want to get it first.
I'll kick us off real quick, and then I think maybe after that we can talk about just our like takes on the game, like final takes and stuff. All right, so my final team, which obviously got my Rillaboom.
Rillaboom.
I love my Rillaboom. He hit Rillaboom. He is currently at level 69. Which is garbage. You should edit that out.
No, I'm leaving that in there.
Oh.
They gotta know.
I feel bad. I had a Lucario. He's level 70 right now. Had my Ninetales,
Dude, that's a
which is level
sick one.
68. Yeah, that was
Is
rough.
that is
Go
that
ahead.
the ice type, or is that just like the regular OG Ninetales?
This is the OG Ninetales. I think in the last region, you could get one. I think it was like ice in the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I also had a Raichu on my team as well. Who's
The
level
psychic type?
70. No, that was the previous region. So this one's just the OG.
But you can't get your hands on those. I'm pretty sure you can get your hands on variants in this game.
I really tried, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. I mean, obviously I could have traded with somebody that had it, but dude, honestly, I've had a real hard time finding people to trade with for this game, which I think honestly just has to do with like the time that I'm playing it. I'm playing it like kind of after the hype. If you personally know like a Reddit or something like that to where you could find people to trade with, like I'd be so down. And also if you are an international listener, I like hit me up on Instagram because I have a Ditto that I will gladly trade with you. So if you didn't know, if you trade your Ditto with an international Ditto, you have like a higher chance of breeding a shiny Pokemon.
Ooh, I did not know that, but that's sick. I love breeding Pokemon, just cracking the egg and figuring out what you get.
Yeah.
It's such a fun part of the game, man.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be talking about that a little bit later because I have some stuff to say about that. But yeah, if you are an international listener and we don't have many, but if you're out there and you have a Ditto, I will trade with you.
So hit us
Also,
up.
if you're a listener, I have 3 Gigamat I have 3 Gmax Duralu Duraludons.
Duraludon.
Duraludon. Man, these pronunciations are weird. Yeah, I have 3 Gmax Durilla. How is it? Can you do it one more time for me?
I think it's Duraludon. I could be getting that wrong
Duraludon. No, I think that's Duraludon. Duraludon.
Yeah,
I think something like that. The steel dragon type. I have 3 Gmax of those. If somebody would like to trade,
dude, that one when you Gmax, it's like a skyscraper that it turns into, right?
yeah, it's
just
cool.
Sick.
Yeah, I just for some reason on my map, I just have so many of those. So yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
currently on the hunt for some Gmaxes, but I don't think I went over my whole team. So I also had a Jellicent male type, which is the blue one for the Jellicent. That's the Ghost Water. And I had a Gardevoir.
Gardevoir. It's a beautiful
Which,
Pokemon.
yeah, that was. I had a Hatchream, and I ended up switching the Hatchream out for my
Why was that, Billy?
Gardevoir. I really tried not to do it, but I mean, the Gardevoir just has so much better stats. Like they have a better HP stat. I don't know. It gave me a little bit more diversity with the moves because, like, I have. Here, let me check my move summary real quick. So the Hatchream is a Psychic Fairy, and they have like Dazzle Gleam and Psychic. I had Dazzle Gleam with my Ninetales, or actually, I had Psychic with my Ninetales and Dazzle Gleam with my Raichu. So I didn't really need to have those. I don't know. I feel like I was wasting a spot. Yeah, this was really cool for me. This was the first time that I had a Pikachu on my team, and this was also the first time that I had like trained up 2 Pokemon and then evolved them after I got the moves that they I waited a long time in order to evolve into my Ninetales and Raichu. You got to be patient if you want to get those moves because I think that they have moves like Thunder. Oh gosh, what is it? They have so you get an evolution move, and I think you'll have to fact check these. You can find them online really easily. A good resource that I like to use is Pokemon Database.
Yeah.
That's a good one that I like. But I think Thunder is the one that you get at like a certain level, and I think you get Thunderbolt when you evolve. So Thunder is 110 power, special move, accuracy 70.
Yeah,
and then
that's tricky.
But that's the one that you have to put off evolving it to get that one. And then Thunderbolt, I think you get when you evolve. So which is a special, but it's 90 power, 100 accuracy.
So that's gonna hit most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, would you like to go over your team really quick? Or actually, I'm gonna go over some rejects. So some people I took off my team last minute with some last minute changes. I had a Shinotic.
Oh,
which is
that's
it's like the fairy type. It kind of looks like a mushroom. Fairy and
I
grass
know which
type.
one. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I like it. It looks like something that would be in a Mario game.
Yeah, that
Just like
one's really lit. I really like that one.
bounce off its head.
I also had a Malmara, which was really cool because you have to like turn your switch upside down in order to
Evolve it.
evolve that one. And then I had a Mr. Rhyme, which is a ice type, I believe, or he's ice and psychic. Which honestly, this is one of like I honestly would have kept him on my team, but I just thought he was so ugly, I couldn't do it. I don't know what it is about this like version of like
And Blake.
like the Mr. Mime and like all those. I like couldn't take it, man. I was like, oh, like when he evolves like into the Mr. Mime, he'll look good, and yeah,
No,
he
it just didn't.
just didn't at all. So
Oh, weak.
that was a no go for me.
Really violated Mr. Mime there. Poor Mr. Mime, man.
I don't know, dude. I just thought I don't know. It just fell off to me. It didn't really. I didn't like the way he looked.
Yeah, well,
I like the older version or the other regions.
OG.
They have one in the game in like the mainline story, and they don't use the Galar region one. They use a one from a previous region, which is just goes to show that this one's ugly. They have it in Spike Mouth if you want to play the whole game and just see that. It's like one of the last gyms, but yeah, dude.
Sure. I'm sure you can get your hands on the original one, though.
Yeah, I bet I could. I don't really know how to do that though. So I mean, I wish I could say more. I wish I could say that I had more Pokemon from other regions, but I think the only one that I have from another region is a Meowth, and I got that from trading with an NPC. So I'm sure that one's fairly common.
Yeah, you got that like from the random trades.
No, I traded with an NPC in some town.
Oh, it was like a person like, hey, I'll trade you this Meowth for this dude.
Yeah. Yep.
I love those.
Yes, what was your team, dude?
Dude, I was rocking my favorite Pokemon, well, one of my favorites, Flygon, who I trained up from a little Trapinch. And you see this Trapinch and you think this can never be a powerful Pokemon.
Oh, is that the one that has like the big pinchers?
It has it has a big head and yeah, he has like a sharp teeth in his mouth.
But he's just like kind of flat.
A little body. Yeah. And he's just all red. He looks like a fire ant. And then he becomes a Vibrava, which is a dragon type. And that's like a flying, has wings and has some flying moves. And then you get Flygon from there. But at a high level, you really got to train these dragon types. And then, on that note, I really like the dragon types. I don't know if you guys picked up, but Blake really likes the psychic types. Yeah. So we're like gym leaders over here. He's the psychic gym leader. I'm the dragon gym leader. Then I had Haxorus, who I trained up from a little Axew, which is a really cute Pokemon. It has like two fangs coming out of it.
That's the one that I'm thinking of. That one is cute.
It's adorable. And then it becomes a Fracture, second evolution, finally a Haxorus, which is a really cool type. And it looks so awesome shiny. You should see the shiny version of Haxorus. And then I had, my good old starter, Scorbunny, who became a Cinderace.
Oh, you had the Thwacky for this cut or this run.
I definitely had
you started with all three, didn't you?
Yeah, I had the ability to bring them all over.
You go ahead.
just because I wanted that like part of the Pokédex completed, and I evolved all of them. But I decided to go with a good old Cinderace just because of that speed stat, just to balance out my team. I had Golurk as my tank, a really nice ghost type who, and he can just eat. He can eat.
I don't know what that one looks like.
Golurk is like this kind of light blue ghost type, and he has a really interesting body.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome that you had him, man. I really thought about putting one of those on my team for a while. He's huge. He's like such a tank.
Yeah, he eats,
What
man.
are is he a rock and ghost? Is that what you said?
I'm pretty sure he's a ghost and something else. I'm not remembering what his other type is.
Yeah, I'm looking it
Um,
up.
but I really like ghost types because they're hard to hit.
He's ghost
Um,
and ground.
he's a ghost in the ground type,
Hmm.
and man, that ground type can put in some work. You give him a good earthquake, and that can take out a lot. Um, then I had Gengar, which is I just love that Pokemon.
Hmm.
Gengar and I go way back. Super cool move set, really cool. Like just the way that Gengar was drawn. I wonder who was the artist that drew Gengar and brought Gengar
He's
to
so
life.
cool, man. I fucking love Gengar too, man.
Especially the Gigantamax
Do you
Gengar.
have the G Max type?
I wish I did. I wish I did. This Gengar is just a really nice natured Gengar. I'm pretty sure it's an adamant nature, which is like ideal for special attack moves. And that's mainly what Gengar does.
Yeah.
He can hit you with a really strong Shadow Ball. And then Weavile was my last one. And Weavile is
Okay. I think I know who that one is.
the evolution of Sneasel.
Sneasel, yeah.
An ice and dark type, which can take out any dragon in a heartbeat. Hit him with a quick ice beam.
Oh
And
man, I almost had a Sneasel on my team.
yeah,
Wow, you had good picks, man. You had some good picks.
yeah, I got to be picky because I played through so many times and I had so many options, and there were a lot of rejects, as you call them.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely had a lot of them, and most of them were dragon types. There's this one, this Pokemon called Applin.
Yeah.
It's like an apple that evolves into this dragon type that kind of looks like a
Oh,
bigger apple. Have you seen them?
is that the one like they evolve into like the Flapple or whatever? Like they kind of look like an apple pie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those are cool, man.
I love those. I definitely got to go back and build like a completely dragon team. Try and breed that team. That's something that I'm looking forward to doing, man. Because there's the dragon types are so cool.
Yeah, they definitely are. I feel like in previous games I've never really had a dragon type because I feel like it's just for me it's always I mean I think they're kind of set up this way because like the dragon type is the last gym in this Pokemon game, but I feel like you get um, the dragon types later on in the games. So
Definitely.
for me it's hard to like to justify just adding a new member. So like because you have to make room for it.
And then you got to go back and train them, which is something that I really wanted to talk about. Is that finding substantial competition is pretty difficult. Finding someone who can really put up a fight and
Yeah.
train up your Pokemon is hard to do unless you want to like get your badges and then just keep going to the league.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things with this game in particular. I kind of wanted to bring it up. Um, I think that it's so awesome that you brought it up. But I feel like this is really kind of like a game for somebody that is new to Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
this really feels like, I mean, not to say that being easy is bad, and there's like definitely some challenging moments. I mean, for me, and like I'm trying to fill out that Pokédex right now, and like that's definitely challenging. Like that eats up a lot of time. That is really cool, but they're definitely in this game. I feel like it's really hard to find the special. Like it's hard to find good competition, but I think that they do kind of balance that out with the candies and the XP shares that you get from the Dynamax dens.
Yeah, and that's really helpful. I really appreciate those because you can really bring a Pokemon back up to speed. Bring it back into your team and put it in your rotation fairly quickly. If you're willing to grind out those dens and willing to just take your time in the grass and just
Mhm.
fight off some strong Pokemon, because you can run into like level 50 Pokemon in the wild,
Mhm.
and Pokemon that are much stronger than you are if you haven't defeated all the badges.
Yeah. How do you feel about all that? Like, I guess I want to kind of ask you. So, just for some pretext on this, the last Pokemon game that I played was Generation 4, and this is Generation 8. And that would have been Pokemon Pearl,
Yeah,
Pokemon Diamond, that generation.
I really enjoyed that generation.
Yeah. So yeah, in that generation, it's very linear path, and they kind of like divided up in the map by like these hidden moves, and you have to like surf from area to area, and it's like very structured. Like everything in like basically everything that you can get is going to be like at a set level. So like having that is really nice to be able to battle those bigger Pokemon. But yeah, so I kind of want to talk about some other things like within the game, if that's all right with you.
Let's go for it.
But yeah, so something that I really kind of found like right on that point, or right on that like kind of train of thought, man. I have like one of my biggest critiques is it's like after you beat a gym, there's really like I don't know, it just kind of feels like who do you battle? It's it
Right.
kind of feels like everything outside the gyms really isn't special and doesn't really matter that much. And like, yeah, like the Dynamax things are really cool because you can like specifically like give one Pokemon its XP. But yeah, it kind of just feels like, I guess this would be like a criticism of it. It kind of feels like it doesn't feel special outside of the gym leaders and the gym fights, which is, I mean, obviously that it might just be by comparison because actually the gym battles and like fighting the gym leaders is like so cool. Like, do you want to like touch on that at all?
Like just the aspect of fighting the gym leaders.
Yeah, I guess
Um,
like yeah, like the gym, like how cool the gym leaders are compared to like do you think that it's I guess like do you think that the rest of it feels kind of dull because that's so like prevalent and cool?
yeah,
Or do you think that like it really is kind of lacking?
I definitely feel like the story, the main story at least, is so tied around this gym challenge. And typically in prior generations you have like a team of villains that you want to take down, and they have like this grand plot, and that kind of takes away from the challenge of the gym. But
Mhm.
now it's like it's a lot more about just completing these challenges in and of themselves. And I really like something you said earlier, which is like this game is kind of like a very introductory
It's a great entry
Pokemon game.
point.
And I think that's kind of, this is just speculation, of course, but I think that's what Nintendo is going for with this first iteration of a Pokemon of this caliber on this console. Um, they realize that there's a whole new generation of kids that never got to play Pokemon and never got to see Pokemon in this fashion. I mean, it's executed so well, and yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with it. I hope they remaster some Pokemons. Honestly, I think that would be a good route for them to take.
Yeah,
Remaster some
definitely,
on the
man.
Switch.
Yeah, yeah. On that note, really quick, we're definitely going to talk about this in a later episode, but on the Switch, you really can't go back and play any of the other older Pokemon games on the Switch, which really sucks, especially because it definitely has the hardware to be able to do it. Nintendo really has it's kind of bad, honestly. Like they have the ability to play these retro games like the SNES and the NES. But like honestly, that's like way before our time. I don't really feel any personal connection to those games. Like I don't feel the nostalgia. And we're definitely going to get into this later. We got some surprises for you, but I just really want to like hammer in on that point though. Like yeah, like you can't play your old favorites on the Switch. So, and I guess kind of to double down on what you just said, man, like I think this is a great entry point, for somebody. And it really does kind of feel like they are like kind of starting anew, starting fresh.
Yeah,
And just to go right off that, man, I feel like I was kind of criticizing it a little bit, but I think I might criticize it a little bit more in a second. But this game is just so awesome and incredible. Like it has meant so much to me. Like just the ability to like throw it up on your TV and play Pokemon on your TV.
That's
That's like a fantasy, dude. Like, how long have we all been like, I can't believe that we can't do this, and like finally we can. I just think that's so incredible, to have that ability. And I actually maybe I have been a little too harsh on it. I really would love to talk some more positives, man. Like the quality of life improvements and from this game to the previous ones, like it's just insane. And that little knocking sound, that is my radiator. Can't control that. I'm back in New York, baby. What was I saying? Oh, but yeah, like the quality of life improvements are just like so awesome. Like, what I guess would you like me to kind of go over some of the quality of life improvements that I'm talking about, or would you like to touch on any of those?
I can definitely give some that came to mind when you brought that up. The Pokemon box link. I think that's really a blessing. Just so you can go into your box and take anything out, and
Yeah, like if you're in the middle of Route 5, you can just go into your box and pull anything out.
which is a blessing, especially if you're trying to train up multiple Pokemon and really, catch them all,
Mhm.
you can work on that. Something else is the experience points that you get from the Dynamax dens. Doing Dynamax
It's
dens
really nice.
is another quality of life improvement.
Yeah, I really like doing those. Those are really awesome. Those are really fun. I mean, the only thing that I will say about those is, I mean, like I said, I played this like in 2020. It's harder to find people to get online with, but
Yeah.
the NPCs are garbage, and it just like I can't tell you how many I save right before every time I do a Dynamax den, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten onto something and it's like I can beat this Pokemon in this next move, but this NPC has to attack it and not use growl or or helping hand. And it almost seems like whenever you really just need them to do one, they always use helping hand.
I just don't want to finish it.
But yeah.
Hey man, they just want to play with you for as long as they can.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Defending the NPCs. They just want to play along, They're just waiting for someone to play with.
Well, I'll give them that. But yeah, man, I mean, like, just honestly, like the quality of life improvements are so amazing. Like they have the XP share, which I don't know if you've talked about this. I don't know if they've had this on other games, but if you like defeat a Pokemon, it like gets distributed to your whole team.
Evenly.
What do you say?
It like evenly gets distributed.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean was in prior games. And sorry to cut you off there. It definitely was in prior games. But you had the option of like you had to equip it to a Pokemon. No, you had to turn it on. It was like a key item.
Yeah, I did have that in the last one. It was like one single XP share that you could share with one other Pokemon.
Yeah.
It was like just those two that would have.
But I'm pretty sure you could also have it where it's like you turn it on and it's just you turn on that mode where every single Pokemon gets XP shares. Like I know that was a thing in Sun and Moon.
Actually, I didn't know if that was a new thing, but I mean it's definitely new to me, so I'm gonna consider it. I'm gonna consider it a quality of life improvement.
And I definitely would consider it a quality of life improvement because now it's like one of those things where you don't even have to think about it. Do you remember when the XP share is introduced to you in the game?
I think it was just automatically. Like if you had, as soon as you get a second person, it gets added to both.
And that's and it should be like that. If you're catching Pokemon, you're fighting Pokemon, everyone should get some experience points just from being in the party.
Yeah, and I think what's also really cool, which I honestly really like this, if you have a Pokemon that's like underpowered by like 5 or 10 levels in your party, that Pokemon will get more experience compared to like the rest of your team.
I did not notice that. They'll like divvy more to that Pokemon because it needs more. That's really smart. That's some really smart.
I don't really know exactly how that whole works or that whole stat works, but that's really cool. Just some more quality of life improvements. Like I feel like it has been so much easier to catch Pokemon in this game than ever before. Like I don't know if you feel that way as well.
Like you can just throw a Pokeball, and I think it was you who told me like, don't even buy Great Balls or Ultra Balls, just use Pokeballs and you can catch them. And I definitely stand by that. Like it doesn't really matter what ball you use, unless it's like you're in a cave and you're gonna use a Dusk Ball or you're gonna use a Quick Ball.
Yeah, I use Quick Balls. I use Quick Balls, Pokeballs, and I still use the Ultra and the Great Balls just because I'm loaded with cash. I think there's one
Uh,
NPC that says, "You should battle me. I'm flush with cash." So I'm flush with cash.
and they give you like 20,000 points after you beat him.
Yeah, that one's dope.
Did you ever
That's
equip the
nice.
amulet coin on one of your Pokemon?
That just lets you get coins, right? For
If that Pokemon with the amulet coin beats a person or even a Pokemon, you get more points for it.
no, I never equipped that. What was your favorite item to equip?
Definitely leftovers.
Oh, I was gonna say that was mine too. I have leftovers on like half my party.
Yeah, just I love using it on certain Pokemon that like their health is just atrocious. They just have horrible health stats,
Yeah, I
so they
also
need
really
that
like
little
the
boost.
yeah, definitely that little boost. I love that it's like every turn too. Those
Yeah,
leftovers really
it's a little unfair.
make a difference. But I also, man, I love the Rocky helmet.
That's like if someone hits you with a physical attack.
They get hit back, yeah.
That's
Or
an
they
annoying one.
Yeah. I didn't really like the focus sashes, which basically if like they're in previous games, if you've had an item or there was an item that you could hold that if like somebody was gonna KO you, it would just leave your
It's like
Pokemon at 1 health.
they would hold on for dear life.
hmm And I don't like that. Those are really hard to come by, and like if you use it, it like breaks.
The focus sash breaks. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
But
like it's like a one time, you can only use it like for like a one time for the one
oh
time.
man. I mean,
So
if you're trying to like rank up a Pokemon, I mean, evolve a Pokemon, and that's the requirement. Like, I know, like for Riolu, you have to build up friendship, right?
hmm
That's how you turn it into Lucario.
hmm
It's hard to build up friendship if you keep letting your Pokemon KO.
yeah,
But at the same time, your Pokemon will keep KOing because it's not very powerful, and you want to get XP to it.
yeah. So that's a good way. Like in previous games, that's been a good way to keep a Pokemon from dying. But
But I could have sworn in previous games, Focus Sash wasn't a one
no,
use.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It hasn't been in previous, but in this generation, if you use it once, it like breaks.
Yes, they're trying to balance it out. I mean, there's a lot of like really, like you're saying, a lot of quality of life improvements. So there's got to be some things that we
Yeah.
give up.
hmm So this is the first time that I've ever bred Pokemon. This is the first time I've ever like successfully been able to breed a Pokemon and like with some kind of like regularity.
And who have you been breeding, man? You've been working with a Ditto?
Oh yeah, so like honestly like these like breeding Pokemon, if you didn't know, you can take your Pokemon to the breeders I'm sorry, not the breeders, the nurseries. You take them to the nurseries and you can have two Pokemon there, and if they're compatible, they will make an egg. And I have like left two Pokemon like countless, like so many times at these nurseries, and I've never quite been able to figure it out. And finally, I was just like, screw it, like I'm gonna get a Ditto, which a Ditto will breed with any Pokemon, any
Yeah.
gender. So I've been doing that. I think I have 4 Dittos right now. So sometimes they don't want to breed with one Ditto, and I'll just swap it out for another Ditto. And
I'm curious, can you breed two Dittos and get like a better Ditto with better stats or better abilities?
I don't know, maybe it's possible, but I do know that you can't trade a Ditto. Like I could not. Or hold on, is that true? For some reason, there's something. No, I don't think you can breed a Ditto. That's what it is. There was some caveat with the Ditto, and I couldn't remember what it was because for a second I thought it was like you can't trade a Ditto, but you can trade a Ditto. You cannot breed a Ditto. So I do not think so. I think you have to actually catch them in the
Okay,
wild.
that makes sense. And I'm curious if you have a shiny Ditto, does that allow for you? Does that increase your chances of a shiny Pokemon?
I think it does, but like I was saying earlier, I think it increases your chances more if you have a Pokemon from another region. And there's also like something else with breeding that's very important is the stats. Like so for example, or not the stats, the nature. The nature is really important. So there's basically like a whole list of natures. And here I actually have the list bookmarked on my phone browser, so I'll pull that up. So yeah, this is like the first generation where it has been accessible enough for me to actually breed Pokemon, which I think they put in there because like we were mentioning earlier, it kind of seems like a very like entry, like it feels more compatible for an entry level kind of person.
Definitely, like anyone can get on this game, you know, from a child to a really old person can get
like,
on this and have a good time.
Yeah, definitely. And like honestly, if you were like, I want to play Pokemon, but I've never really gotten into it because I just didn't know where to start, I'm telling you, this is a perfect place to start. Or if you, for whatever reason, are like, I used to play, but I just don't think it's gonna have that same, you know, like I'm an adult now, you know, like I promise you, this totally will. Like this is so much fun. But like for example, if you have an adamant, their attack, or if you have a Pokemon that is natured adamant, its attack will be increased 10%, and its special attack will be decreased by 10%. So like it's kind of like a give and take
Trade-off.
Yeah, it's like a trade-off. So like the bashful nature, for example, doesn't have any trade-offs, and the docile doesn't have any trade-offs. Hardy doesn't have any trade-offs. Quirky doesn't have any trade-offs. Serious doesn't have any trade-offs. Like adamant has attack, benefit, special attack.
So what are some Pokemon you might want to be adamant?
Maybe a Pokemon that has a lot of physical attacks instead
Fighting
of special
type.
attacks. Yeah, like a fighting type or something. So like, for example, one that you would probably not want to, or like if you were going to get a fighting type, probably something that you would not want would be like a calm nature, because that would give you a better special defense and a lower attack stat.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that.
Or like a timid, which would give you more speed but less attack.
And that totally makes sense too. Like if you're a timid, you definitely be quicker, but you probably won't hit hard.
Yeah. So it's like, it's really cool. The whole, like you can see, if you like view your Pokemon, you can see what nature they are. So that's really cool. And I like, it's just so accessible to be able to trade or to breed in this game. And that's something that I really found incredible, because I haven't been able to do that in any other Pokemon game before.
It's a good introduction to like that facet of the game, and I'm sure you could go back into older ones, like you're playing Crystal right now, and like really get into breeding.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'm gonna look for the next time that I play a Pokemon game, because now I've done it, and the hardest thing about it was just me trying to figure out which like type that I wanted, and it just, or how exactly do, because if you don't breed with a Ditto, there's like all other kinds of like stipulations and stuff. But we'll get into that later. That's not really what this specific episode is supposed to be about. But they have, there's 2 places that you can breed as well. So if you can simultaneously be breeding 2 different Pokemon, which is really incredible. So like, just another thing, there's also an item that you can give a Pokemon that will let them pass on their nature. So for example, like if I was going to breed a Pokemon, the way I would go about that is I would go about finding one or I would go about breeding one, and then whenever I got that nature, I would stop. But like, let's say for example, if I wanted a shiny Pokemon, one way that you could do it is give that Pokemon that item, and then you could have them breed, and then every egg would be that natured, and then you could just like go for a shiny. Which like if I got a Ditto from another country, that's what I would go about doing it that way.
I have good news. It seems like the 25th anniversary of the whole franchise falls on this year.
Yeah, that's actually something really cool to bring up. If you haven't seen it on their on New York, baby. If you haven't seen it, they have a really cool video that I think they might have posted on their Twitter page, and they kind of have like this really cool video where it kind of goes over the generations. And yeah, this year is actually the 25th anniversary of Pokemon.
And we were talking about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and it looks like there might be a remake.
That's what I've heard. That's like the hype that everybody online, like everybody's kind of saying that they want the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Because I guess so they've remade other ones, like I said, like the Pokemon Crystal. They made a remake for that, and that was on the 3DS. And yeah, this would be the next one in line, quote unquote, to get, or Diamond and Pearl would be the next one in line to get remastered and remade on a new system. But
from my understanding, like people who are known to like leak stuff that is accurate, say that there is something in the works. It's very possible.
Oh, they also something, while we're on the Pokemon topic, Pokemon Snap is coming out this year.
Yeah, that's a remake actually of like a Nintendo 64 game, no?
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that it was the original was like Pokemon Snap, and then I think this one is called the new Pokemon Snap. TM.
TM, you gotta put that in there, the trademark.
Yeah, I think that's like official. I think that's why. Yeah.
If they are remaking it, we can probably expect it like in November. That's when they love releasing these titles.
Yeah, it is new Pokemon Snap, and the TM is very. It is very clear, on the logo. But yeah, it looks really cool. I've never really been a super big fan of like photo modes. I mean, not that I'm like not a fan of photo modes. Like I love taking photos and stuff. I don't know. I might check it out. I don't really know yet. I mean,
you should probably check it out for the pod, see what it's like. We'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if I was gonna buy a Nintendo Switch Pokemon game, I'd probably buy Pokemon Go Pikachu, so that I could get that G Max Pikachu.
I didn't know you could do that. I actually have that one. How do you do that?
G Max Pikachu?
No, I have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I played through that one. It was really fun.
So I don't know if you can do it in retroactively, but I know that I think you could probably do it. I think if you have to go to the first train station and talk to the kids in the train station, and they give you a gift if you have that.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, you should Google that. Did you have Pokemon Go Pikachu or Eevee?
It was definitely Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
So you would get the G Max Eevee.
I love Eevees, man.
But I wonder if you could evolve it and have like a G Max Ulan
or like a Glaceon.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I have all those also. This is the first time I've been able to get all of those in my Pokédex.
How hard was that to do?
That actually was really not that hard. I caught them all in the wild.
Okay.
All the possible evolutions of Eevee are in. They're they're at like a specific, like they have like a specific spawn point in the wild area, which we haven't even talked about that. So I'll tell you where that's at later, where you can get those. Like going right off that, like we haven't even talked really about the wild areas. So I mean, do you have anything that you'd like to say on that, just like right off the bat?
I love the concept of the wild area. It's so massive. So many different Pokemon you can find there. And especially the time concept is really cool. Like if you go during a certain weather condition at a certain time, you can find different Pokemon. It kind of takes me back to like the Pokemon Safari. And you know how you had to like go to the specific area to catch all these different types of Pokemon, and now they're just all there in the wild area, which kind of gives like a level of, reality to it. Or I want to say,
No,
for
yeah,
lack of a better
definitely.
word.
Because like, I mean, like I said, like in the previous games, you would just be on like a certain like route, and you would know that anything that you came across in that route, you'd be able to beat it because that's just the linear path. And in this one, like you can go into a wild area and just like you run into a Pokemon that's 10, 20, 30 levels higher than you.
Very strong looking.
Very strong looking, and that means you can't catch it. That was really, I mean, like I think that's kind of the trade-off. You either, for me personally, it was the most frustrating thing when I'd run into something that I was really excited to run into, and then I just didn't have the ability to catch it.
Yeah.
And because I really felt like I said, I was really taking my time with it, and I didn't want to rush the gym challenge. And like we said, it just feels so special, like actually doing the gym challenges, like those fights are like what pretty much like what the whole game's about. Like
Yeah.
you're like, it's like you walk into a huge stadium, and it really, like for me, it really kind of felt like it was there. The gym challenge was just so special that
Definitely.
like with all of them, I could have taken them on earlier, but then I chose not to because I just wanted to like save it up, like save that experience. And that was like frustrating for me, like running into something that was like not that far off from my level, and I like wouldn't be able to catch it. And, but I mean, like we said, that's kind of the trade-off. But
You can still fight them, I
yeah, you
didn't
can still
mind
fight them.
taking them down and like pitting up my whole team towards it because the XP would be worth it.
Yeah, I guess that's not really something that I would do. I don't know why. I guess I would always just feel disappointed. But that's, I mean, that's a great way to look at it. Like you would get some like some heavy XP for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. I guess like kind of really just going right off that, the I really did, I really loved the wild areas and the like the Gmax dens, and I loved the Pokemon challenge. But I really, or the gym challenge, but I really kind of felt like the routes, like going from place like A to B, it really felt insignificant and to me. And I don't know, maybe that's a personal criticism. I mean, I don't really know if that's a hot take. Like we said, it could have just been, you know, because everything else just felt so grand that those areas that weren't, stood out. Um, but I mean, it felt. I mean, I don't know. Do you have anything you'd like to say on that? To me, it just felt
I,
kind of like
I can definitely
insignificant.
see. I can see where you're coming from with that. It's like you go, like, for example, when you're going from, let's say you just finished a gym challenge and you're going to the next city, um, there are some really like cool places, some cool scenery. However, there aren't really things to do. You just kind of get past it and
Yeah,
get to the
I
next city.
think
It's
I
like,
think that's probably what it is. Because I mean, like honestly, that like dark forest, like before you come to the fairy town, the town where you fight the fairy gym, which that town is awesome, by the way. You have like
yeah,
these bioluminescent mushrooms, which I don't
it's
know what it
beautiful.
is. It's like stunning. I love bioluminescence. I think that's just like
Yeah,
such a vibe. I'm just so into it, and
it's the future.
yeah, it is that too. Dude, just bioluminescent mushrooms and like fairy type Pokemon. Like I'm so into that. That's my vibe.
Yeah, those are like two really new things. The fairy type is a really new type to the franchise, and
Which I
just
love, by the way. I love that. I honestly, I feel like we should talk about BD really quick. How'd you feel about your rival, quote unquote?
he wasn't. I mean, he was a very like new kind of storyline for a rival, kind of unexpected. I didn't expect him to take a turn like that, but
Yeah,
he did, and he's better for it. I think he makes a great fairy gem.
yeah.
Um,
I real quick. I honestly, I am so envious of that dude's clothes. I was just so into it. I loved his like whole outfit. I loved his whole get up. Makes me
yeah.
want to buy a gold watch and a pink coat. And dude, honestly, like his gym outfit, like the way that he like kind of changed it up at the end, like when he was the fairy gym, and like just like the vibe of his like actual uniform. I just love
killing
it.
it.
Man.
He was killing it. The whole game, he was
Mhm.
from the start. He was killing it, and he was making you look like a bum. And I think that's part of it. Like
Mhm.
you had to go to the clothing store to like, sort
Yeah,
of look
that
a little
backpack,
fresh.
bro, and the clogs.
That's it. That's what they wanted you to do. Be like, what am I wearing? Like, look at this guy. Damn.
Yeah, dude, I hated those shoes that you got at the start. Those...
I know. There's definitely your mom's kind of like, here, take this old backpack and these clogs that I got from Payless.
Oh man, yeah, that is. But yeah, dude. Also on that note, real quick on the clothing, when you buy the expansion pack, you get access to new haircuts and stuff.
Oh,
Which
really?
I have not explored. They kind of just told me about it, that I was able to get access to new clothes or to new hairstyles and stuff. I haven't actually checked that out, so I
That's
guess I'll
sick.
report on that later. And yeah, in the expansion, I've only been to one of the two new places. I think there's like Crown Tundra and an island. And I've been to the island, and it's really cool. It has its own Pokédex, as well as Pokemon from the Pokédex that you're working on. So just having that, I've been able to catch so many Pokemon. That's really helped me out on my Pokédex progression, and I'm excited to go
That's
to the
good.
Crown Tundra, man. I think there's also like other people to battle and stuff.
Oh, that's exciting. So some more competition.
Yeah, some more competition. It's kind of weird. Like they it's like a dojo. It's like a fighting dojo, and then I think there's also like I found some towers around the island, and it's like, oh, like you can't come in here. Like you wouldn't make it. You wouldn't be able to last. Like you have to go to the dojo first. But so I haven't gone to the dojo yet, because the person that so as soon as I got off the expansion pack, like I got off the train, and I was able to fight somebody. She was like, wow, this kid's really good. Like he's gonna like outshine me at the fighting dojo. She's like, don't go there. Don't go to the fighting dojo. Like you're not good enough to be there yet. And so like, I mean, like obviously like that's where I want to go, but I also like want to respect her wishes, because I'm like, I'm
Maybe
the
she's
champion.
just
I'm the
being a
champion,
hater.
you know? I don't need to, I'm definitely going to though. So I'm excited that there's like more for me to do. And
Yeah.
that was my biggest critique of the game, man. I even like in my notes with my critiques, I had a swear word. And I was like, yeah, who do I fight now? Like now that I'm the champion of
Yeah.
the Galar region, and I have this like also like you get a dope Charizard for being able to beat the game.
Oh yeah. Gigantamax Charizard.
G Max Charizard.
He's sick.
He's so sick. And I kind of wish that now that I'm here again, I wish that I wouldn't have leveled him up, because this is also something that might come. I'm not sure if this will come. I'm considering doing a Nuzlocke run of Shield, and like seeing if I can get through that.
Nuzlocke meaning like you give yourself a challenge, like if any Pokemon dies, you can't use it anymore.
Yeah. I'm kind of making my own Nuzlocke rules. I've never done a Nuzlocke before, so I'm kind of just thinking about if that would be fun for me, like how I would go about it. And
Could I ask you for something? If you
yeah,
could you look for a Gibble for me so that I can run
Gibble?
through a Gibble? Yes.
What's a Gibble?
It's a very specific dragon type Pokemon that evolves into Garchomp, a really badass grounded dragon type that I love that Pokemon. So if you can find me a Gibble and I'll trade you for it, anything, maybe like a Shield exclusive or something. I really want to get my hands on a Gibble.
This is not the shark dude. Who am I thinking of? He kind of looks like the shark guy. You know who I'm talking about?
Garchomp. With the two things on his head, he looks like a hammerhead shark.
I got him. That's not who I'm thinking of. I gotta pull it up on my. I got him in my Pokédex.
Cause yeah, I don't even have all my badges right now. I'm missing like 2 badges in Shield, and I'm just gonna savor it and like really try and fill up the decks. Really try and get Pokemon that I want to move forward with.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I I think that we should make a little like Google Doc or something on like Sword and Shield exclusives that we should trade with each other.
Yeah, we can definitely like cover
I'm
it
thinking
too.
of Sharpedo.
Ah, Sharpedo.
Dude.
They look similar though. I can see why you might think.
Yeah, my bad about that.
I wonder if Gibble even is in this game, which is probably I have to defeat the league and to get my hands on him.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh, it will only appear in the Shield version, so you
Damn
can
it.
get that. You can get the Gibble. They can be found at the Crown Shrine. You might have to get the expansion pack for that.
Darn.
Well, I have an ad blocker, so it won't let me see the site. We'll have to do some additional research on that, I guess. Hold on, but this little YouTube video says where to find Gibble in Sword and Shield. But then this one says Shield exclusive. I think that, and then this one says catch at the Crown Tundra. Oh shit, dude. I forgot. The absolute best thing about getting so this is two things about getting the expansion pack. One, I got emailed and I didn't really know what it was. I thought it was my Nintendo receipt. So if you buy the expansion pack, like you have to pay attention to this. You get codes for 2 unique outfits. And I have basically like a whole curated Pokemon Eevee and Pokemon Pikachu outfits. So I have a Pikachu and Eevee outfit that is like totally unique. I also
That's sick.
They give you the option to change your biking outfit, which real quick, I think the biking outfits are so stupid in, in this game. I think they look so dumb. I think the one that looks the best is the poison type. But that's what my new biking outfit looks like.
Oh, that looks really cool.
And if I move, I have a trail behind me. Do you see that? Isn't that
Yeah,
lit?
that is pretty cool.
So yeah, I've got so for those of you, this I'm showing Brandon over our Zoom call, but I have like it's like a really cool like biker helmet, and it's just got like a cool. You can choose like black or white, like racing bike kind of outfit, and it's like very cool. It is very awesome. Like I would 10 out of 10 just get it for that, but it also like I said, my biggest criticism was that like after I defeated it, I was like, what do I do now? Like the end game, it felt like there was no end game content, and it really kind of felt like to me that I was just, which I guess like maybe this is not fair to criticize Pokemon for this, but I was just like after the end of the game, I had this amazing team. I was like, I really want to do something else with them.
Yeah,
like there's nothing really for me to do, and I think in previous games they have like you unlock different areas that you can go to, so just something to consider, which is why I'm really glad that I got the expansion pack.
I definitely got to check it out too and see if I can get my hands on this Gibble.
Yeah, I also definitely do some research before you buy the expansion pack, see if it's right for you. But one thing that it's called the Isle of Amor. I don't know why it just came to me. The Crown Tundra and Isle of Amor. Those are the two places that you can go to.
You have to buy them separately?
No, you get them in one, and I think it's like $30.
Okay.
But which I mean, like for me, I was totally down to pay that. Like, if you are enjoying this game, I think I think it might be worth it. I kind of waited until I beat the entire game to buy the expansion packs. If I could do it again, I think I would do it a little bit differently, just because at this point, this is also like kind of another criticism that I have of the game, but it's also like it's like kind of good and bad. Now at the end of the game, like once you beat it, every Pokemon in the wild is level 60. You can't like let's say if I like got a Pokemon and they were like I wanted to evolve them, you'd have to breed them and then evolve them because everything's a level 60 already.
That's tough.
Which is kind of challenging for filling out the Pokédex, but it's also like kind of makes it easier because everything's a level 60, so you can level things up easier. But
It is. I mean, I never
it has its
like,
give and takes.
I never really like going to 100 anyway, because it's like, what am I gonna do with a level 100 Pokemon?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like that's like if you're gonna like go into competitions.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like I said, I don't think either of us really have the time or the desire to play competitively, but I would love to play you for the pod, man. And
Yeah,
we
that'd
talked
be
about before, like putting that on like YouTube or something, streaming that for our listeners is something that we'd like to do.
those would be some fun battles.
Yeah, kind of I guess kind of the hindrance right now that we're facing and why we can't really do that is, I mean, it costs money to buy a capture card, or a good capture card, and we both pay for this podcast out of pocket, which something we love to do, and it's definitely a passion project for us. But that, yeah. So I mean, we would like to do that going forward, but maybe sometime in the future.
Give us some time, folks.
Yeah, dude. So I'm just excited, man. I mean, I'm really excited for what's to come for Pokemon, and this is kind of like one of the first big games that we've been talking about pretty regularly
Yeah.
throughout the whole podcast. This is episode 17 right now, and we've kind of been talking. I think we've pretty much been talking about it since episode 1, like a Pokemon game, and we were able to do the new one and do it right. Do you have like, I guess, do you have any final thoughts before we like kind of wrap this up?
And I want to say thank you to Nintendo for making this happen, because playing on my TV is such a blessing, and being able to see all these Pokemon and the way that they're like animated on my Switch, it looks so good. It feels so crisp and clean, and
This
I'm
is
just
really,
happy.
yeah, dude. No, keep going, man. I don't want to cut you off.
I'm happy that the franchise has come this far, and I'm excited to see where they take it now. This is only the beginning. This is a very beginner game, and they were just scratching the surface, I feel like, of what they can do with the Pokemon game. And if they remastered Diamond and Pearl, that would be great. If they want to go and drop a whole new region, that would be great too. I'm just glad that the franchise has made it this far. It's having its 25th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Pokemon. You guys have deserved to be around for a quarter of a century. And man, I hope someday my kids will be playing Pokemon.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Like this has really just been like so much joy, like actually just like playing this game, and especially like during the pandemic, there's really been a great escape for me personally. I mean, we've all kind of got to do what we got to do, just to get by, and having that like nostalgia trip, and also like it is just like honestly, it's just incredible, like playing like a Pokemon title on a on a TV, with the controller is really, and also having the ability to take that into handheld if I want it. It's just so vibey, and it just feels right. So I'm very glad that overall that this was able to happen. Yeah, like you said, dude, this really feels like just the beginning for like a whole new generation of these games.
Definitely. Snap is coming out soon, and I think that release date is indicative of something else coming out this year.
Yeah,
Fingers
I feel like
crossed.
there's definitely going to be something new. And honestly, it Pokemon Sword and Shield have been out for a while.
Yep.
So, I mean, it is entirely possible that they would have had time to create a whole new title, especially based on like the blueprint of this too.
It's all off a blueprint. I mean, they have so much to work with, and I doubt that they ever just like, all right, let's start from scratch.
But I'm really excited, man. I mean, these are kind of like our final thoughts on this. We're kind of closing a chapter on this. We can open the door to talk about some other things on the pod.
Definitely.
Just hey, we would love to hear from you guys. Obviously, we're probably not going to be talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield as much, and this is a whole episode about it. But moving forward, if you have any questions about it, we'd love to discuss that with you. And kind of like Brandon alluded to, we're going to have a guest talk about Pokemon sometime soon. But I'm really excited to check out some other things and hit up some other genres, maybe some more mature games as well.
Definitely check out some new titles for you guys on the Switch. Great console. Check out some new titles on the next gen. It's just coming soon. we're excited to play a bunch of new things for you guys, try a bunch of new things, try some old games that we just haven't tried before, and give our perspectives on those. This is a pod about the games we love to play, and I'm looking forward to sharing those experiences with you guys. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I guess just some business real quick. You guys can follow us on Instagram, the Sticky Buttons Pod. You can also, send us an email at thestickybuttonspod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys, and just thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts from everyone that's been listening. And it really just means so much to us. Make out like Hop and just be way too positive when you beat him.
Oh man,
Dude, did you like Hop, man? Did you like him?
No, I thought he was a little too tacky. Like, come on, you guys could have made Hop a little meaner.
He was way too overly optimistic. I mean, honestly, he was fine. He was fun, but just he chose the starter that was
Weaker to yours.
that was weak against your Pokemon, and he didn't stand a chance. Honestly, he was just so positive, man.
He kept going. He kept going despite all that, and that's what you gotta love about Hop. And I think that's what they were trying to do with that character.
Yeah, honestly, I think that if it wasn't for us being in that gym challenge, I think he would have beat his brother.
Yeah,
I think he would have beat Leon, man. I'd put bets on him. I mean, now that I have that legendary Pokemon, I'm just gonna become I'm the god of the Galar region, right?
dude, I don't like using the legendary. It's just not fair to anybody I fight. It's not, and it defeats the purpose of a legendary. I mean, it's a legendary Pokemon.
I haven't caught the dog yet. Can you catch those?
You have to. Yeah, that's a post game thing. You gotta go get him.
Little post game content. Haven't done that yet. Got more to do.
There actually are a few things. You might want to watch a YouTube video for post game things to do after you beat it. I think you might like that.
Yeah, I definitely would, because that's my biggest critique is what's next. I mean, like I said, I also paid for that extra so I could do some extra things, but
there's a lot you could do now, I bet.
Yeah, I'll have to look to see what else there is, but well, I guess we'll end this pod off with just giving you guys a little update on Gengar. See how he's doing. My little Sony stock. I still don't have a PlayStation 5.
Me either.
I'm not looking as intently. I kind of check passive aggressively every week or so, just see if I can get my hands on one.
There's a queue coming up soon. Let me see.
But yeah, I don't remember what it was the last time we spoke, but the current stock price of Sony is $113.31 right now. So up 13%.
13%.
Also, just some other stuff off the episode last week that actually, no, never mind. We'll talk about it later. Go Pokemon. This is the Pokemon episode.
There's a PlayStation 5 Direct queue coming up. Yeah, I was seeing it. I think it was going to open up in 2 hours, 21 hours when I was checking earlier today.
PlayStation 5. I think if I could put it in my cart